So Landon, what are you primarily focused on right now? Is it just like right tackle, or always the more you can do? I know the guard position, but what is your focus right now?
Absolutely. So right now, so far through training camp and through OTAs, we've been a focus on right tackle. Of course, that possibility is always open. Anybody who isn't on that starting five has to be able to play both sides. You have to be able to play jumbo tight end. You got to be able to play left, right, and maybe possibly even come inside. But this training camp was a big emphasis on really honing that right side for me. I've heard a lot of people and a lot of coaches say, you're a stereotypical right tackle. Like, you're not necessarily the body build of a left tackle, but you're more of a right tackle. Let's go ahead and get that side just as good as you can play left side, if not better. So it is an emphasis on right tackle, but that's still a possibility of switching sides, bumping outside, and playing some jumbo tight end too.
Landon, is that jumbo tight end spot, that sort of 6 offensive line package, is that something you all look at as an opportunity to compete and get out on the field as well? That's something you work on?
Absolutely, and it's something that it's going to be different this year because we have new coaches, of course. We don't know sort of how they feel about different things, but I know last year Coach Payton, he loved it. We ran a lot of 6-man offensive line on that field, but it was a good chance to get out there, compete, have another big body. That's our job. That's our job as offensive linemen, to get out there and get in these defensive linemen's face. And not saying that a tight end can't do it just as good, but it's another chance to get a big body out there, get a little more movement, and create a bigger space for those short yardage situations.
Are you all kind of preparing to see potentially a little bit less of that than what you've seen in the past? Or
I don't really have a comment on that. I really don't know. I know that it's still a possibility, it's still in the playbook, still something that we're learning, still something that we're possibly going to be going into some, but there's no true tell if we're going to be running a lot of that, if we're not going to be running it. So it's just, we're going to have to see here in the next short little bit.
Landon, when you say you've heard from coaches a lot that you have a right tackle build, is that because of your run block ability, or is that because of how you the kind of rushers you're facing when you pass protect? Like, what do you
I think it's a little mixture of a couple things. I think a little bit of it too is being young and inexperienced into the league. Coming into my second year, it is probably a better position on the right side than the left side. You got a lot of really, really good just freaks on the left side that come off that. You get freaks on either side, but they say my body stature too. I'm a long torsoed guy that still has long arms, and they said on that right side is just probably a better fit. Zach Streif played there, and he sort of mentors me in that position as well. And he was like, if we can put you there, be able to get you comfortable, we want you to be able to play both sides, right. Just like last season where I went in Philly, played left, and but starting off this season with Trevor coming in at left and me coming in at right, we have those backups that we can sort of focus on during that training camp process.
Landon, you can show the coaches beginning Monday when you put the pads on that you haven't been able to show without pads?
So definitely, it's not as much of just the technique, but more of an effort, and it is technique of actually being able to use it on a live body. So in OTAs, when you're not going against somebody and you're in just individual drills, like, you can show them that you can take the steps, you can show them that you can do it with speed, that you can do the right play, go to the right person. But when you're actually coming in Monday and we're actually going against this defense, then you're able to take that and utilize it against somebody else. So it's so easy to come out here on a field and be like, okay, give me a wide 3 pass block, and go and take that wide 3 pass block. But when you have somebody against you and you have that split-second decision, it's very hard to keep all that technique in balance. And so coming out Monday, and especially as we progress into pads, shells, everything else, it's really making sure that you hone that technique and that you are very firm in that technique, and you can show the coaches that you're coachable, that you can take what we've learned in OTAs, take what we've learned in just T-shirts and shorts, and be able to utilize that in an actual game.
Landon, how is Coach Brown? How is he treated? Like yourself, Trevor Penning, all that. Did he give you a nickname or something, or because he's pretty vocal?
Absolutely. So he hadn't given me a nickname. He hadn't really gave a lot of nicknames. He's a good coach. He definitely is firm on us. And a little different than years past, and every coach is different when you come up to him, but he's a really, really good guy, really good coach, and I think that he's been able to really take us and mold us into something better, and I think that it's going to continue to improve. But he is a very vocal guy, but a very, very, very good coach, and very we respect him. He's earned our respect.
Landon, did you make any changes, weight, body composition, anything a year or two than a year ago maybe?
Absolutely. So, of course, I got hurt and was in that rehab process and through all that and then got back out right before OTAs and everything got cleared. I've gained about 5 pounds, so I'm sitting around the 330 mark now instead of 325. But I feel like I put it on in a good manner. I've been able to, like I said, train that whole off season here while I was rehabbing. So I've been able to work with the strength coaches. I've been able to work with the assistants in the weight room, the training staff in there. And so I feel like they've been able to let me put that weight on right and still be able to improve my speed and my agility in being an offensive tackle.
Landon, how much of Matt Maria helps to impact exactly what you just talked about, that recovery process?
I think it's been huge, and it's been so different too. Like, I think that we had a good strength coach before, but this is such a different recovery, different strength process now. And, you know, we came in and we started doing a bunch of single leg stuff. We were doing lunges, we were doing individual sided things and testing those individual sides to see where our lacks were, where our better sides were, and what we could do to help improve and even out those sides. So that was something that I thought was really, really interesting because it's really focusing on, okay, are you deficient in your left hamstring or your right hamstring, and how can we fix that? How can we even those out to help stop soft tissue injuries and things like that? So I think that has been really, really great for the whole team to minimize as many of those. As you all know, he had so many injuries last year, and if we can do anything to help prevent any of those soft tissue injuries, it's going to be huge.
Landon, how much are you utilizing Ryan Ramczyk as a resource, and what have you been able to kind of pick up from him, you know, from this year plus of playing?
So Ryan, he's an awesome guy, and not only, as all you all know, he's a phenomenal player, and you know, a Pro Bowl player and or All Pro player, but he's a man of character too, and he is a guy that no matter what year you're at, especially last year and even this year, I can go up to him with any question, and he's going to be humble enough to sit down and walk me through that. Go out there and do that technique with me and help me out. Watch my reps when I go into a practice and be able to say, hey, maybe if you did this, it'd be a little better, or hey, remember to keep those hands up, or anything like that. So it's been very, very instrumental for me because I'm very blessed to have someone of that quality and that caliber in front of me to be able to go out there and be like, I want to emulate what he does. I want to watch him. I want to be able to do, I may not be able to do it exactly how he does, but it's a good starting point to be able to, you know, go out there and say, I want to do it like he does.
And in some of the chats you probably had, have you picked up something where you've used him in game or used him in practice and you've gone, man, that worked, like that, you know, thanks for giving me that piece of advice?
Absolutely, and I think one of the biggest things was, you know, watching him on his get off on the ball. So in college, I struggled with, we didn't really have a cadence, and then we came to NFL and we're jumping cadences. And so I struggled with that my whole rookie season, I felt like. And then finally being able to talk with him and work with him on that, because I saw just how he was always the first guy off the ball, always the first guy off. And I think that's what has helped him become very successful as well. And so he sat down with me and was able to talk to me with that. We went out and practiced it as well, and I think that's something that helped me a lot. I had the speed to get back there, but I have to jump it to be able to utilize that speed against some of these defenses. Absolutely, and it's always, you're going to have some sort of transitional period like that, no matter who you are. And but like you said, Trevor, he's a super athletic guy, and he just has to. Sometimes you can hear it one way, but you need to hear it a different way. And that was for me. Like, I heard it one way, and then as soon as I heard it a different way from somebody else and a different process, it clicked. And every single person, that click is something different. And so my click may be different than your click is different than his click. But for Trevor, too, he's just got to be able to feel comfortable in not only what he's doing and what he's learned in the playbook, but also he has to feel comfortable hearing it from different voices on what he should be able to do. And so I think as soon as he does that, it's just going to come natural, the more reps he takes.
How have you liked New Orleans so far, and what has having the fans out here, you know, motivated you?
I love it, and I said, you know, the heat, it's very It's a lot different than being in Kentucky, but it's minuscule when you get to come out and do what you love every single day. The fans, the first time going in the Dome and busting out of the tunnel and hearing everybody chant "Who dat," that was absolutely breathtaking. And I think that we have the best fans in the country, and it has been just overwhelming seeing all the support that New Orleans has as a football team. And it's just, I want to thank all the fans for that, because without them, we can't be out here doing what we love and what we're enjoying doing. So we really, really appreciate it.
Landon, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.